waiting, so I figured might as well go ahead and go live. For those of you that are waiting, and then the others will filter in. Um, Happy Friday. It's been a long week, and I'm glad it's the weekend. I got some car stuff I gotta do tomorrow morning. I gotta work on a car. Havana's already coming in my lap. She's just been super needy tonight. But I hope everybody's doing well. And like I said, it's the weekend now, so hopefully everybody's got something fun planned. And fish related or not fish related, hopefully you guys are having some fun. I don't really have anything crazy I can think about to talk about tonight. Just going to be kind of a community live stream. And then let me refresh my page. Havana, you make this more difficult for me. But yeah. So I'm expecting most people will filter in once OFR is done. Fish related. What do I have that's fish related? I started moving fish in from the outdoor pond. There's probably about 30-ish guppies inside now. I'm basically bringing them inside in batches, so that way I don't overload the filter on their tank. And I plan on doing like maybe 20-ish a week or so, and that way the filter doesn't overload, and you know I don't lose anything from crashing a system. Tiffany White is here. She says good evening. Good evening, Tiffany. I hope all is well. Mickey's here. Hello, Mickey. Fish and Florals here. Hello. Glad it's Friday, guys. Super excited. I was in the OFAR live stream for most of their stream, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but we were talking about me going up there. I might try to go up there next weekend and take my drone. I would love to get some video of their front pond and their back pond. But also, I want to get video, let's say like an updated walkthrough of OFR, all using the drone. People when they visit, other YouTubers, they all do their videos of the tanks. I want to do it all with the drone. I think it'll be a little bit different, be a lot smoother, be able to go up and down the aisles, and basically make it like a walkthrough perspective versus just like hand filming each tank. Everybody knows the tanks, so I think like a quick kind of fly through. And I want to fly over the monster pond, which is the indoor pool, and get top down view, because I don't think anybody's got video from like that perspective. Everything's top down from the sides. I think it would be cool to be able to fly over the indoor pool and see what kind of shots I can get with that. But really, the focus will be the outdoor ponds, because then you can kind of get the perspective of how big something really is versus just standing on the side. And that's something I haven't played with the drone a whole lot. I did a lot of stuff at the ranch and my buddy's property, and once you get that aerial view, that's when you really start noticing things that you just don't notice on the ground. So I'm hoping next weekend. I don't know what day I'll be going up there. I don't know if it'll be a Saturday or Sunday. My parents are in Florida, so I have the dogs full time. So there's no babysitter or dog sitter, you want to call it. So it won't be like a weekend excursion. It'll probably go like, let's say Saturday morning, leave here early in the morning because it's a 2-hour drive, go up for a few hours, and then come back. But I can get the video done in that amount of time. Fish and Floral says, love drone footage, such a different view. Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives a different perspective, that's for sure. And I'm just going to have this dog in my lap, I guess, this whole stream. Yeah. Anyways, so the pond, start bringing those fish in. I'm going to do a video of breaking down the pond and how I do it. It's really not hard. I'm actually thinking this one might be a little bit easier since I already have a pump in it. So last year's pond, I basically put a power head into the pond with a hose that just went out. Go on. If you want down, get down. Sorry. Um, the power head just pumped water out of the pond to the ground, and I drained it all the way down. That's when I caught the fish out. The fish I've caught so far is just taking a net and doing a swipe through the water. There's that many fish in there that I'm able to catch them out like that. But to really get them all out, you have to drain the water down. The nice thing is that I'm using those Intex like pop-up pools. It's like the steel frame with the liner. Once the water gets down to like a couple inches, last year what I did is I started taking one end of the pool and raising it to force all the water to the other end. Then I can drain it down a little bit more and keep raising it to where all the fish are in, 20 gallons of water versus 500. That's what I plan on doing again this year. And then since it's already got a pump on it, I think I'm just going to rotate my biofalls so it's just dumping outside the pond. But that's only going to go as low as that intake. So I'll have to take the intake tube off and put it down into the pond. And I'll have to put like a sponge filter or like cloth on the intake of that so I don't suck fish up. Because they're still fry. I caught what looked to be like a week old fry when I swiped the net. So they're still pumping out babies even though it's getting cold at night. It is getting down to the 40s and 50s consistently at night. They are just guppies, and guppies can overwinter in a pond as long as you keep some heat into it. I know LRB keeps guppies outdoors all year long, but he does have heaters. Not that he's heating it to 80 degrees, but he's keeping the temp up. And guppies are very hardy, and especially once they've been bred multiple generations, which these have now. I've had this line for like 2 years now. They just get hardier and hardier every generation. They just get better and better, and they're far superior as far as that compared to imports. They're used to the water quality, water changes, and all that stuff. And that's probably with any fish that you breed. The more you breed them, the better and hardier they get. Mickey said, still have all your tanks, missed your streams for some weeks. All right, Mickey, I'll catch you up because that gives me some time to fill in why people are still watching OFR. I still have every single tank. I haven't gotten rid of any yet. I do want to downsize as far as the quantity of tanks, but upsize the volume. So what I really want to do is get rid of my oddball tanks. One of the first fish tanks I bought before I caught the bug of keeping all the fish is this Fluval, and I don't know the name. It's like, how they have like the Fluval Spec, the Fluval Edge. It's a Fluval tank. It's a 29, and it's got like a built-in lid with like really nice flat top with built-in light. It's a really nice tank, and the reason I bought it is that it's got a tap on it. So basically underneath the tank, you're supposed to buy the Fluval cabinet, and you open the door and it's got a tap, and you pull it and it drains your water. And that way you can put your bucket underneath. And before I was into fish keeping, like as a true hobbyist, I thought that was the coolest thing. I could just put my bucket under there, pull the tap. Well, when I bought it, I thought it came with the cabinet. I didn't realize it didn't. So I opened the box. I was like, oh, this is just the tank. So I have it sitting on my own like stand, and I basically just have the tap kind of hanging down underneath. But that tank, I don't really water change. I top off. It does evaporate. It's heated, and it's in my house that always stays cooler. So anytime the air is cooler than the tank, it evaporates high, like a higher quantity of water each week. This tank doesn't get water changes. It gets water added because it loses this much water a week. This is a 55, so however much water that is, I don't know if that's 8 gallons of water a week is what gets changed on it. And I am fertilizing this tank now. I did put root tabs in with the swords, and I still use my liquid fertilizer as a water column treatment. Even though swords are getting all their nutrients from their roots, where root tabs should do the best, I still like dosing the water column because I don't know. I've always just had really good luck with that. Um, it's almost, it's still melting a little bit, but it's doing pretty well. They're filling in now, and I'm debating what to do as far as stocking on this tank, since I've been doing a lot of, pretty much all of my YouTube videos from right here. I've been using this as a background. I think I want to add more fish to it to have more going on. I'm not really sure what I want to add, so I'm really thinking. I really love the rainbows. They are beautiful. Um, but what I'm thinking to make best use of this 55 is to actually move in the Aquarium Co-op Vienna guppies that I got from Jimmy over the summer or in the spring, whenever that was, um, because I really want to ramp up production on that line, because I only started with like one or two females and like a handful of males and some fry. Um, the females are dropping fry, but they're young females, so they're not dropping like 60 of them. I think if I put them in this 55 with this much volume, they'll really be able to put on some size. And my goal is to get that line going, because I get messages, not all the time, but often enough that people want to be on the list for those guppies. And to be honest, it'd be a good money maker. So it's not like, oh, this is a $10 trio. You know, I'll be able to get a little bit more money out of them. It's more of the storyline of, it's the Vienna guppies. People know that Corey paid with, you know, shipping and all that, like $500 for his whatever I forget how many he got. If he got like a trio, or if he got more than a trio, or if it was just a pair. Either way, he paid $500 for these guppies, and the males are fantastic. They really are. Wait. Okay, got it. Sorry, I got a little message about I hate stupid people. Got flags. I have to approve those. But yeah. So I'm thinking about putting the Vienna guppies in there. They're currently with Harlequin Rasboras. They do fine with each other. But I'm thinking in this tank, they would really thrive and start kicking up production. So that's Mickey. So in case you don't know, and if you haven't really got anything from that, I'm not planning to move this year. I basically felt like I was rushing everything, and I don't want to rush. So I'm going to hold off on moving. So I'm going to keep going forward with my plans to do the 2,500 gallon community tank. That's going to be, to be honest, at this point, it's going to be a winter project, because there's a lot of things that need to happen, and the majority of that is basically remodeling my garage, ripping the drywall down, doing new installation, doing all new wiring. I already have a new sub panel out there, and I want to run all power from that instead of off the main box. That way I don't have issues with anything tripping a breaker when I'm not home. And put everything on a ground fault interrupter. So it's going to be a project. It's going to take some time, but I think that will give me something to do once winter hits. Right now, I've just been busy hanging out with, you know, my ranch friends. I met a lot of new people this summer through the ranch. Really good, awesome people. And they actually wanted me to do my live stream tonight at the barn. They wanted me to hang out down there and do the live stream from there. But I don't know how well my upload quality would be from the barn, so I just wanted to do it from here. Now with YouTube and this stuff, I do want to, when I first started doing streaming, I was using Streamlabs OSB, and then once I got mobile streaming, I've been doing everything from my phone. I kind of want to get back into doing the whole studio thing here. You know, once I get rid of the fish products, get that off the wall, clean up this room. But I want to go back to the OSB, because that allows me to do overlays on the screen and if I, I can show you guys website stuff or videos that are stuff I'm working on. I can overlay it directly onto the live stream. So I just want more control. And I've used it before, and I use StreamYard. StreamYard pricing though to get like the at least 1080p. I forget how much it is a month, but you gotta pay monthly for that. OSB is free, and it's very powerful. It does everything you can imagine. So I think I'm just gonna go back to using that. And that's another thing. Before I do that, I was running a network cable from my computer, which is like behind my phone, all the way down the hallway because my router is out in the fish room actually. I have like a hotspot, like extender, or not hotspot, but a Wi-Fi extender, like in the hallway here. So my connection's good. But to really stream in 1080p, I need to hardwire it, and I don't want to keep running a network cable down the hallway. So I want to actually run it through the attic and into this room, make a wall plate, and just do it right. So I think I'm going to focus some time on redoing all this that's in here. And yeah. The other thing I noticed is that when I was recording with the drone, it was recording in 4K, and I think the default was 4K. And when I went to edit, my computer really doesn't love editing 4K. It does completely fine with 1080p, but with 4K, you can definitely tell it's not as spunky. So upgrading the computer might be another thing on the list. I might do that like as a Christmas present to myself. Um, Overhauling the computer so I can start doing 4K video editing and speed up that whole process because it really slows down. But yeah, now I'm getting sidetracked in my thoughts. But yeah, so the fish room currently, I have one tank, a 10-gallon that I can take down, that I cleared out, so it can be broken down. And that's what I'm going to try to do is start breaking down some of the tanks that I can either combine fish into multiple tanks and help spread out. Really, rack system 2, it sucks because the system it's fully mature, plants are growing like crazy in it, but it's just overall not holding that many fish. So I think it's either going to get taken down, or I'm going to take the fish out of the import rack and move them over to the flow through and start taking down the import rack, which is probably what I'll end up doing because water changes on the flow through is super simple. It's just flipping a couple valves and I can do water changes. No big deal on that. So that might be something I do here soon, is start moving fish out of all the 29s and 20 longs into the flow through system. Then I can start taking down that side of the fish room, and I can start focusing on the garage. I'm going to hop in the chat and see what all is going on. I'm a little tired, so I'm drinking coffee tonight, which I don't know if that's a good idea or not because it doesn't wake me up, but it usually keeps me from falling asleep. So we'll see how tomorrow goes too. I Hate Stupid People said OFR just dropped off live. Okay, so the viewer count did go up, so that makes sense. Fluval Flex. Yeah, I don't remember what the name was, but sorry, my phone's in the way. I'm trying to grab a tab, move it over. I'm just going to search Fluval Flex. Nope, it's not a flex. It's not curved. It's like a really nice 29. Like, think of your standard 29 gallon, but it's got really nice like silicone. Trying to see if I can just search like 29. I don't remember. I'm sure if I saw it, I'd be like, that's what it was called. It might not even have a cool name. 29 gallon drain. Maybe? Wait, is it a fluval accent? Maybe it's an accent. Yeah, so... maybe it's 25 gallons. Something popped up 25 gallons. Okay, so it's a fluval accent 25 gallons. But it's got like this built-in like little section in the back that holds like the filter media. And I don't run a filter on that tank. It's a tank that has zero filtration on it. It's got a water. It came with a built-in water pump, so it circulates water. But it's a non-filter tank. It hasn't had a filter in like a year and a half. But this was a tank where I really started playing around with moving from like the weekend fish person to fish hobbyist. So I built like a concrete cave. I used styrofoam and basically applied concrete to it. And then I learned that even though this thing weighs 25 pounds, it will still float because it's all filled with styrofoam. So I basically had to drill a hole in the concrete, and I basically took a torch and burned out all the styrofoam to make it hollow, and then resealed it. And then I realized I resealed it with air in it, so then I just didn't reseal it, so it fills with water. So I did that. This is the tank that I did the whole potato plant, where you take a potato, you stick it in the top. I made a custom lid, and I cut a hole in it so the potato was sitting in it. The roots of the potato goes down to the water, and then it starts growing a potato plant. Works super well. The roots grow like crazy. Super great for breeding fish because it gives the fry a ton of places to hide, gives you some greenery. The issue I had with it was after a few months, I started getting blackbeard algae on it, and I ended up just removing the plant. But it's one of those things where I could honestly put the plant in there, let it grow for 3 or 4 months, and if it starts dying off, pull it and just start a new one. The only issue with that is the plant got going. It was like pothos. It was growing up and like onto my fireplace mantle. The roots were getting crazy. That sucker was consuming a lot of nitrates out of the water. So when you remove that, you gotta watch out for a nitrate spike. Same thing with like duckweed. A few of my tanks are covered in duckweed. They're growing like crazy because they're consuming all that extra nitrates out of the water. Well, if you take all that duckweed away, but you're still producing a ton of nitrates, you can have a spike. So always be careful when you start removing a ton of stuff. So like right now I got these 3 sword plants. They're growing, they're getting bigger. If I took them all out, my nitrates, if right now they're at 20 parts per million, they could spike to 60 parts per million because they're not getting consumed by the plant. So always watch when you remove a bunch of stuff from your tank if you're planted. Just something to be careful about. Mickey said, I've seen videos from Japanese koi breeders' ponds. Looks awesome from above. Yeah, I think that'd be cool to be able to, I mean, I can go up to the ceiling, like their indoor pool. I go all the way up to the ceiling to get like a wide angle view of the pond. And I can, take it down low. The only thing is like with the arowana, I want to make sure he doesn't try to like eat the drone somehow. That would be crazy footage, but almost $1,000 invested in that thing. I don't want to have it get nicked by a fish and then fall into the pond. That would suck. I'm scrolling. IHSP says, I wish I could tag that fast. Works on desktop. Probably works better on desktop. Yes. So, at least with my iPhone, I can't tag people. I would have to sit there and like physically type the at symbol and then somebody's name. On desktop, as soon as you hit at and then the first letter, it pops up their name. You hit tab, it just autofills it. Super easy to do tagging on desktop. That's for sure. Cyclist23 just got my autos today. They're all live. Threw them in with my new Epistos, knowing they need softer water. So being that you said just got my autos today and they're all alive, I'm guessing they got delayed. Excuse me. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but one of my mods, everybody probably knows her, the Zen Ginger, she had got a bunch of diamond tetras for me, and this was weeks and weeks ago. She lives in Texas. I'm in Ohio, and this was before it started getting cooler out. Texas was like in the 90s or almost 100 in some places. Because when I ship, I have to look at weather on the way there, but it's not a direct beeline. So a package from here may go to like Indianapolis and then maybe Missouri and then down to Texas. I don't know the exact area. So I kind of look at the region, and some places in Texas had triple digits. I ship out, the latest I'll ship is a Wednesday. And I always do 2 days or faster, unless it's like a small box and I do breather bags, then priority mail 2 days, but typically ends up being 3 days. But a big box is always, I go for 2 days or quicker. Um, Shipped out, those fish got bagged. I'm trying to remember if I bagged them Wednesday and shipped them Wednesday, if I bagged them Tuesday night. I think I bagged them Wednesday, shipped them Wednesday. They were supposed to be there by Friday. Friday hits, they're not there. Saturday hits, they're not there. They didn't show up until Monday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 6 days these fish were bagged. And she said they all came alive. And to be like, that's awesome. But to be honest, at the 6 day mark, fish being in a bag, and I do ship with oxygen, so like oxygen and fresh water. So they're, and I also purge them, so they have the best chances. But at 6 days, that's a long time to be in a box, and it's not just being in a bag of water with oxygen, so you're worrying about the oxygen depleting, but where's that box for 6 days? Is it sitting at an airport cargo facility, non AC? It's 100 degrees in Texas, or was it sitting in Michigan, like it got diverted and sat there where it might be cooler? So I was really surprised they made it to her, but I'm glad that they did. And it's crazy because I can ship those diamond tetras 6 days. It took to get there with crazy swings and temps, all fine. I could ship. This is a true example. I shipped black neon tetras 2 days. It took 2 days. They were in bags for 2 days. Complete DOA loss. And it was going to, I think, Pennsylvania on that one. So like a state over, which I don't know why it takes 2 days anyways to go a 3 hour drive or 4 hour drive, but they a complete loss. So I don't know. Some fish, I guess, just don't travel as well. Those diamond tetras have been really hardy for me. Cafe, the Columbus or Central Columbus area fish enthusiast. I always mess that up. Had like a little swap meet last weekend. I did go. I took some plants. I took some Carib Sea substrate like sands, and I took some fish. And by some fish, I took 2 bags. I'm like, I don't know how many people are going to be here, how many people are afraid to go out because of everything going on in the world. But I took a bag of Harlequin rasboras because I had a bunch of them, and I took a bag of diamond tetras. They both sold like fairly quickly. I took maybe a dozen plants. They all sold out. Sold some substrates, and I'll be doing a deal on the substrates. So the Carib Sea sand is on Amazon Prime, so the free 2 day shipping. I think it's $14.99 for a 5 pound bag. On the website, I have it listed for $9.99. Now that doesn't include shipping, but hear me out. So shipping on that would be $9.99 for if you bought 1 bag or 10 bags. But when you hit that $49 mark, you get free shipping. But it's $10. So I'm probably going to run a sale on that for people that are on the website and also my members. I figure that's another thing I'll do is I'll start posting stuff to members like, hey, I'm running a members sale because you guys have support me and let me give back somehow. So if you're a member, which I only have a handful, not a ton of people, but that's going to be one thing I'll do. It'll be a community post with the discount code. So if anybody's looking for sand, I do sell it. Mike, my buddy Michael, that does these rainbows, he had mentioned to me when he was at my house, because with all the inventory sitting around, there's things he's like, I just didn't even know you had these. He's like, I didn't know you sold these. So that brought me to an idea that maybe one day I'll do a video. I don't want to post it to YouTube, but like that's the best way to get to you guys. But I was going to kind of do like a walk around, like, hey, did you know I sell this? And that way you guys can just see. I mean, it's all on the website, but in case like you're not browsing through every single page on the website, might be able to show you some stuff. But yeah, anyways, I don't know where I was going with any of this. Actually, I'm going to open that back up because it gives us some extra lighting. Let me get back in the chat. Oh, I was talking about the Diamond Tetras. Anyways, the Diamond Tetras have been doing super awesome there. They were just labeled Diamond Tetras, but I think they might be the long fin Diamond Tetras. Their fins look really good. It's like they're long, but they're not like extremely long. Like when you get some long fin variety of fish. Somebody asked at the swap meet, he's like, are they the regulars or long fin? I'm like, they were listed as regular, but to me, they might be long fin. And he was holding up the bag. He's like, well, they look good. And he ended up buying them. But I kind of wish the club did the swap meet like once a month, to where like it'd be easier to plan. Like, all right, well, I sold a bunch of plants. Now I know next month I'll bring more plants, versus twice a year. And tables were only $5, which I thought was extremely awesome. I feel like this spring they were more. I could have swore they were like $20 a table or something like that. And it was only $5 this time, which was super cool. And yeah, now I know I need to bring more plants next time. And I brought some crypts that had like roots like this long. I think all of the plants were heavily rooted. And the thing is plant sales, for me, I haven't been listing every single plant I have, because I'm trying to get good root systems going on them. And I pulled some of these, and I was like, holy cow. Like, I had to really, really pull on them to get them out of the sand. And people say, like, plants don't do great in sand. That's a lie. At least for me, they do awesome in my sand I use. Pool filter sand or the carob sea sand. Screw the black diamond sand, at least on the fine. I did get to chat with somebody at the swap meet about the diamond sand, because they were asking about the carob sea sand. And she mentioned she read online about black diamond sand. I was like, yep, well, let me tell you my story. Don't buy the fine stuff. And she's like, yeah, I read that somebody said not to use the fine. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's terrible. As you can see, I still have it in there. I haven't siphoned any more out in a while, but it might end up just getting a cap layer on it. I think it would probably be the easiest thing. I don't really want to disturb the plecos too much. Sorry, I'm getting messages. I don't want to disturb the plecos too much that are in there. Videos, I know I've been slacking on these guys. I'm sorry about videos. The whole battery backup for the nano pumps. Oh, I had nano pump die on me. So I'm trying to think how many nano pumps I have. I probably run maybe around 10. If I had to guess, I'm probably using about 10 of them. I had one die on me this week, and it's one of those things where like you just get so used to the noise, like I can hear the Airstone going. It was on that 29-gallon no filter. It runs no filter, but I do run an Airstone in it, and I just noticed, like, I got home from lunch one day and I'm like, something's not right. It's too quiet. And I looked, I'm like, why is the air not working? So I thought maybe like the USB like charger broke. So I swapped it out. Still wasn't it. And I'm like, huh. So I swapped out a pump, and that's what it was. So I had one die on me, which I thought those things would last forever, but it is a pump, so they're inexpensive, so I'm not complaining about it. It's just, if anybody ever asked, do a USB air pump, those nano ones, does anybody ever have one that dies? I had one that died. Chevy Fish posted the online store link. Thank you so much. 614fish.com. Scrolling. RHSP says, I shorten it for live streams. Yes. YouTube auto flags anytime somebody tags I hate stupid people. It flags it for review to the moderators. It happens in the OFR live stream, and it's not a big deal. We can just approve it. But I always feel bad because somebody's trying to talk to them, and it gets flagged, so it doesn't go out into the chat until a moderator approves it. But Patty's here. Hello, Patty. Patty said this may be a winter like no other, so get those home projects rolling. I don't know what to expect. I mean, it's October. I think it will be a bad winter. I know last winter wasn't really that bad. I think the winter before we had like a record amount of snow, or not record amount, but we were like 2 or 3 away from like the record amount. But it only happened over like 2 or 3 snowstorms. It wasn't like a long ton of snow over like a long period of time. It was like, boom, here's 10 inches of snow. Then like the next snowstorm, here's 10 inches worth. And it was like that versus like constant snow. I just got a weird text message. I don't know what that meant. Oh, they sent me a picture, so that's probably what that is. But anyways, oh my God, stop. Horse Ranch people, if you're watching this, don't text me. It's distracting. Anyways, now I'm distracted and I don't know what I was talking about. Projects winter. Yeah, so long story short, I think it's going to be a long winter this year. It's another reason I kind of need to get up with the what are these messages? Stop it. The garage project. If I get that thing insulated, this dehumidifier pumps out some heat, which is nice because it's heating the fish room right now, and it's also keeping the humidity really low. So it's a win-win situation. Low humidity, high temp. I don't have to run an electric heater. So I noticed that I am getting a ton more evaporation out of the tanks, which is to be expected. Humidity goes down in the room. The tanks are able to evaporate and fill up the air with water more. It's kind of like less water changes though. I just, like tonight, I topped off all the tanks in the house. I have to top this tank off every Friday because if not, it'd be loud because the canister filter, once it gets above water, because the canister filter returns like at this level. So once the water hits here, you just hear water splashing in. So I have to top off this tank every Friday before I go live. But when I do this, I do all the other tanks. In the fish room, all the tanks got topped off tonight versus a water change. And basically, you're just diluting. If you're only topping off tanks, you're only diluting what's in that water. So if your nitrates are high, you're adding water due to evaporation. You're diluting that nitrate level, but you're not removing stuff. So I still need to do water changes, even though I'm adding, like this tank, eventually I need to do a water change on it to kind of reset it, redose it with fertilizer. But I'm just adding water to dilute what's in there. But I'll still do a water change on it eventually. Patty said it would be awesome at the barn. You should do a test run. I might go out to the barn tomorrow night. They want to do a bonfire. So I might go out there. Depending on how things go tomorrow, I got to work on a car. It's like a side job. Depending on how that goes, I'll try to go hang out. If that's the case, maybe I'll try to do a test run live stream from out there tomorrow. and see how the internet does. And yeah, that's actually a good idea. Maybe I'll try to do that tomorrow if I go. John said, "What's up with the garage build?" So I don't know if you asked that before. I'm always behind on chat, so I'm guessing you might have asked that before I talked about it. Um, John, let me know if I did not answer what you want to know, because I am kind of behind. I'm trying to catch up, just skipping through, because I know there's like always the side chats. I do the same thing. You get in people's live streams, you're talking to all the fish fam. So I'm just trying to skip over the side chat and go through. Mr. Fisher said, Steven, if you guys have a specific question, if you're on a computer, you can tag me. If you hit the @ sign and then hit like SC, it'll pop up my name. Select it. It basically makes it orange on my screen, in case you didn't know. And it really pops out so that way I can see that's a question to me. If you're on mobile, then I know that it's like hard as crap to do that. But if not, I just don't want to skip over somebody's question. But Mr. Fisher says, Steven, have you used a grow light bulb before? I moved my 40-gallon tub into my garage and need something to keep floating plants alive for winter and other rhizome plants. So yes, I have. And I've used, it's like the big, like think of a floodlight bulb on like the exterior of your house. I don't know the name of those bulbs, like the style, but you know, they're like that wide. I bought one of those. It was an LED grow bulb for like indoor like tomato plants or something. So I bought one of those, and I bought a reflector housing from Menards that takes those like big bulb. Actually, I think it's just for like a regular bulb, but the floodlight style bulb fit in it, and it had a clamp. So I was able to clamp it to the wood stand and have it. I used those, and it did work. I don't know. I don't know if I would say like if I don't know if it was like powerful enough to really like use it long term. Would it do a floating plant? For sure. It was powerful enough to grow some algae on my glass. Um, and I actually had two of them. One of them, the bulb ended up failing. Um, just the LEDs stopped working on it. I don't know if like moisture got into it. You would think a grow light bulb would be somewhat moisture proof, but I don't know. One of them failed. They weren't that expensive. I did get it from Menards. I was going to get a clamp light, and I was through the light bulb section, and just caught my eye. It was a green box. It said grow light on it. I was like, I'm gonna give this a try. So yes, I have used them. It would definitely keep a plant alive for a floating plant. And the 40-gallon tub, I would say as long as it's not like super deep, it would do rhizome plants. If you're talking like Java plants or like Anubias, Anubias for sure would work on it because they're such a slow growing plant anyways. It shouldn't be a big deal. Banana plants also similar. But yes, hope that works for you. It does work. All right, so I'm going to mess up this name, and I apologize. I'm very bad about names, especially scientific names when it comes to like fish, but names in general. Is it organ or origin? Yeah, see, terrible. And Barami? I don't know. Sorry, I apologize on the name. It says Greece here. So I think you might be the first person that at least I can think of from Greece that's watching the live stream. That's awesome. Appreciate you tuning in. Super cool. I wish YouTube statistics would show like when I'm in a live stream where everybody in the world is at, because on my website it does that. So on my website it shows a live view and it's got like a global picture, so I can see everywhere in the world where someone's like browsing the website. It doesn't give like obviously exact location. I'm sure they could figure that out off like IP addresses, but it just puts a dot basically on the map. So it's basically, I don't want to say regions. Like I can tell the state. There's no state lines on like say USA, but I could tell like, oh, that's New York, that's Ohio, that's Texas. Like just geography. I know where that area is, but it just puts a dot, and it's cool. Like I only really ship to US, so but I will randomly get like Britain. I'm trying to think of other places, Canada, and I think I've had somebody on there from like Australia. Very random, but the thing is, I had to be on the website software, and they have to be on there live. So if there's like 10 people on the website at once, I can see 10 dots. Um, but it's just something kind of cool. I wish YouTube Live did something like that, and I could have that up in a window, and be like, holy crap, there's somebody from Russia here or something. I don't know. Scrolling. Cyclist23 says they were shipped Tuesday morning to me. Got them today at noon. Well, better today than on Monday, because some shipping, like, I don't know if like it hits Friday and they're like, oh, this can wait till Monday. Like, I'm nervous when they don't get there by Friday. If they're not there by Friday, I'm like, uh-oh. Because like Saturday, everybody should still be delivering, but when it gets to that point, it's like, because nobody's going to deliver on Sunday, and it just becomes a nervous mode. That's why I've been primarily shipping Mondays, Tuesdays. But yeah, delays suck, and I don't want to say it's no one's fault, because you want to blame the post office for not getting them when you promise them. But right now, they're not guaranteeing deliveries because of everybody buying stuff online these days, and with workers calling off when they get sick, and just all that stuff. I mean, I get it. But when you ship a state away and it should be 2 days or less, you would think it'd be like a 1 day thing, but 2 days, and it ends up being like, well, I guess that's a bad example, because those fish just ended up being DOA. They still got there in 2 days, but they were still DOA. But 6 days, that's crazy. That should have been a 2 day, and then it should have been there Friday. Worst case Saturday, and it didn't show up till Monday. So that's why I kind of stopped doing Wednesdays. I will not ship Wednesdays if it's anywhere like far West Coast, like California, Washington, Idaho. If it's Wednesday, they're just going to have to wait until the following Monday. And I used to feel really bad about somebody placing an order, and then it got to the point, and not shipping it that week, but got to the point where it's like, hey, this is not the best for the fish, so I'm holding them. And my last big order, which was Andrew, who cleared me out on a bunch of my like single fish, which was super awesome of him. I messaged him. I was like, hey, like, I could technically ship these out tomorrow. I think it was like a Tuesday, right? I was like, technically ship these out tomorrow or whatever, but I really, like, I don't know if I wanted to fast them more or if it was the weather, but for some reason I was like, it's going to be better if we hold them until Monday. And he's like, I'm no rush. That's no problem. He's like, that's cool. I was like, awesome. But, sometimes it's just, I get excited when I buy something. I'm an impulse buyer. When I buy something, I want it now. Like that drone, I could order it on Amazon, saved a few bucks or whatever, but I wanted it now, so I drove to wherever Best Buy had it in stock to buy it. So it sucks when you buy something, especially if you're really excited to get that fish, if it's a rare fish that you've been waiting for, or just something that's uncommon that just doesn't get brought in often. It's hard to have to wait like a week before it ships out, but it's really better for everybody. It's better for the fish, better for you, because your experience will be much better getting healthy fish versus dead fish. Even if like everybody guarantees a live on arrival, but still not a good experience getting dead fish. So I just been being more of a stickler on myself of enforcing my own rule about that, I guess. But it's wintertime, and wintertime is actually my favorite time to ship, because with summer, it's like one of those gambles, like, do I put an ice pack in this box? Like, yes, it's going to be hot, but it's going to chill that box down. Ice is going to chill it down first, and then you lose it because the ice melts pretty quickly. Heat packs, I use like the 72-hour heat packs, and they have a graph. Like, there's the data that shows how the heat pack works, how much heat it's, as long as it doesn't get wet or there's no faulty issues, but shows how it ramps up. And every heat pack's different as far as the hour. So like a 24-hour heat pack versus a 72-hour, maybe, and I don't know these numbers off the top of my head, but there is a sheet out there that shows you a 24-hour one. You would think it only lasts for 24 hours and it stops working, but it actually gets hotter, and it gets hotter quicker than like the other ones, where the 72 hours might take a little bit longer, then it peaks and then it trails off. Those are the ones I like that might not get as hot, but they last a little bit longer, just for those delays. But with winter, pretty much heat packs. I know the boxes are not going to get above 90 degrees inside water temp. So a heat box or heat pack, good to go. Heat pack, good to go. The whole ice pack is just, it's like, I know there's people that don't even use ice packs, but I feel like if the worst case scenario is it gets stuck in a truck with no AC, if it's in a UPS truck, it's a brown truck, so you know that sucker's hot. I don't want them to boil. And the big thing would be with like shrimp. I know shrimp, people have gotten boiled shrimp before. Knock on wood, I've never had an issue with any of my shrimp ever shipping. They've always been super good, especially my reds. I've had them now for like 3 years. Like they're pretty hardy. Chevy Fish said awesome table price. Yeah, I was super surprised at $5. IHSP said I can't get water wisteria anywhere near me. I've never have had water wisteria. John said, how old was that nano pump? So that nano pump might have been like, I'm trying to think when I added to that Airstone. It was this year, so less than 10 months. I don't know the exact when I actually added air to that tank, but I would say less than 10 months old. But I've had air pumps that are now a year and a half old. So, I mean, the oldest one I have is a year and a half. And they're still going. It's just that one pump took a crap, but I had a ton of the air pumps. I had one spare that wasn't being used for anything, so I just swapped it out. I should have actually took that air pump apart to see how it worked inside. And then in case you're wondering, this air pump does work. It's unplugged because I was using it for my battery backup testing. Cyclist says, why is Aquamate live right now? No idea. IHSP says, I like LRB. I forget where he lives, but his accent reminds me of back home. So he's in Indianapolis, Indiana. I haven't been to his house in a while now. I'm trying to think the last time I was out there. So I know I went out there with my four-wheeler to help him move rocks for his ponds, and I feel like I was out there one more time afterwards, but I don't remember. I don't know if the rocks was the last time I was out there, if I was out there again afterwards, but you know, maybe this winter when there's nothing to do, maybe I'll make a trip out there and see how him and his family is doing, and see what's new in his fish room. IHSP says, normally I'm up till 11:30 midnight. Been sick this week, muscling through work, so I'm exhausted. I'm misspelling words and having trouble keeping up with chats. Yeah, I hope you feel better for sure, and I understand where you're coming from on that. I think it was Monday. I think it was Monday. I fell asleep as soon as I got home from work. I was just exhausted, like super exhausted on Monday. I got home, I fed the dogs, I sat on the couch. I think I might have turned on YouTube to catch up on some videos over the weekend of other creators and people on YouTube, and I fell right asleep on the couch. I woke up at like 10 p.m. and I was like, oh crap. So I love taking naps. Naps are awesome until it's not like a 20-minute nap. It becomes like a 4-hour nap, and then I can no longer go back to sleep afterwards. So I got up, it was like 10. I stayed up for a couple hours, wasn't really tired. Get in bed. I was up till like 4 a.m. Monday night. 4 a.m. And my alarm starts to go off, I think at 6 or 6:30 during the week, because I'm one of the snoozers, and I have multiple alarms. So I have like the clock radio alarm, but then I have like 6 alarms on my cell phone set like 15-minute intervals, because sometimes I used to just keep one and hit snooze, but sometimes I'll just like hit my phone, and instead of hitting snooze, it hits like dismiss, and then I'm screwed. But so I have all these alarms set, so that way in case I accidentally dismiss them, I still have more backups. I'm not a morning person, and like today, I actually was late to work today. And I hate being late. Like I'm sure my coworkers are like, yeah, whatever. No, I really don't like being late to anything. And I slept through my alarms. I woke up, just like naturally woke up, and it was like, oh crap, I gotta be at work in like 2 minutes. Screw this. Like I'm in trouble. So got ready as quick as possible. Skipped getting coffee. Went straight to work. I was late, obviously, but I just slept through my alarms. I woke up, and like the phone alarms, they go off for so long, and then they turn themselves off. Like I don't know if they go off for like 20 minutes, but they start turning off. Completely slept through them. Didn't wake up, and my radio was blasting. I had my clock radio turned up full blast, and it was just jamming music this morning. Slept through it, but yeah. Indiana 4 drive to LRB. No, LRB is like 3 hours for me. He is northeast end of Indianapolis. If I remember right, northeast. I've been there 2 or 3 times. I think it's the northeast end, if I remember right. But it's like 3 hours from where I'm at. It's not like in Indianapolis. He's like a suburb type deal. So I actually get off the freeway before I even get to Indianapolis, and kind of cuts me back roads up to his house. IHSP said, "I'm not a morning person. I have 5 alarms, each on 2 phones." Yeah, I'm not a morning person. When I was at the ranch weeks ago, when we were digging the ditches for drainage for the pond that they have, it was like, it felt like a true ranch day, where it was like sun's up, roosters crowing, my dogs are up, I'm up, it's 5:30 in the morning, get coffee going, get to work on whatever was going on, digging the trenches, and then like 8:30 at night hit. I'm like, I'm ready for bed. Like I'm done. 12 hours of working, done. Just take me to bed. Um, the winter kind of sucks because it gets so dark early, and it's darker in the morning too. So it's like you wake up, you go to work, it's dark. You get off work, it's dark. Like it's not like depressing. It's always dark feeling. And then I work in a warehouse. Our workshop is a warehouse. It's got a man door and a garage door. There's not a single window in that thing. And during the winter, all the doors are shut. Obviously. So it's like, go to work. It's dark. You're in work. You can't see the sunlight. And then you go home. It's dark. Like it sucks in the winter. But yeah. Cichlid said, my dad's stuck in the ER, tested positive for COVID now. Ah, dude, that sucks. Mickey says, do you place them in the other side of the room as I do? That was at IHSP. I'll just chime in on that. Mine actually are right next to my bed. I don't move my alarms. I've heard of people like doing the... I just spilled coffee all over the keyboard. Oh, why am I dumping it on myself? I went to see if there was coffee left, and it was a lot fuller than I thought, so when I went to tip it, just coffee everywhere. That's how my night's going, guys. And of course I don't have... Oh wait, I do have... Got some napkins. Yeah. So, whoops. Sorry about that. That was a little random. Anyways, we're coming up on that 1 hour mark, guys. I think on that coffee spillage note, now it's on my computer chair too. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. I know I keep saying I need to get content out there. I know it. I will try to do a live stream tomorrow if I go out to the barn and it's not dark. I got something I can show you guys. If I go out there, I will try to do that live stream. And I'll try not to spill coffee tomorrow. Well, if I do, at least I'll be outside or in a barn. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Chevy Fish said, flip your keyboard upside down so it doesn't sink in. I'm actually going to go and take this and clean it because coffee's going to get sticky, and I don't want the keyboard being sticky. So I'm going to go clean this now. But everybody, Texas Fish Room, I don't know if you've been here the whole time. I just now saw you. Good seeing you in here, bud. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. I guess now that I said that, oh no, I can't end the stream because I got stuff on my fingers. I'll see you guys. Thanks for hanging out.